Alright, I wanted to make another little segment of video because of what I got in the mail today for this super reverb build that I'm doing. Thought I'd show what we got in the mail from Mercury Magnetics. See what's in the box. Output transformer and a power transformer. Hoping these things fit in the chassis okay. Looks like we got us an envelope of some promotional materials maybe. Got us a sticker. Got a couple of those now. A little metal sticker type thing. And this is probably just here's for the power transformer, primary and secondary. Tells you what it has. And this is for the output transformer, primary and secondary. Guess they want you to stick that to the back of your chassis or something. Equipped with Mercury. Alright. They always pack these things up pretty good. Got here. Now let's pull both of them out. Get rid of the box. Alright, let's see what this one is. Looks like it's taped up pretty nice. Looks like this is going to be the power transformer. Yep. Pretty snazzy. It's a heavy little bugger. Woo. That lacquer is fresh. we go. There's the model number. Hopefully you can read that. Let's see if we can get that in the camera decent. Yeah, it's got the stamp on it. That's a hefty little bugger. I don't know how much that weighs, but it's hefty. Just set him to the side. Kind of curious about this output transformer. It's supposed to be the fat stack. Never had the fat stack before. Well, you know that box. That might be just the right size I'm looking for all my grandpa's fly fishing kit. Fly fishing, fly tying kit. Somehow I ended up with all that stuff. Cut those wires. Alright. Yeah, she's fat. Yep, she's fat. Well, that's nice. They kind of made a slotted feet there, so hopefully those will fit in the drillings of the Mojo Tone chassis. There's your part number. Yeah, she's hefty. Power transformer's slightly heavier, not by much though. Alright. Alright. Let's see. Maybe we can get the chassis up here. Done a little work on the chassis. I got my feeders all put in. All nice and neat. Did something a little different on these ones than the last amp I did. I got these long ass wires all over the place. I'll show you that in a minute. But I decided I would, hopefully you can see that, I would put a little bit of shrink tube on the end of each wire on those heaters. That kind of keeps that green cloth from flaring out and threads everywhere, you know. And I made one polarity red and the other side blue, and kept my polarity straight across the line there. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can or not. But yeah, installed screen and grid resistors before I put my heaters in. And then yesterday I got the filter caps all done. That's what these long wires are. I know they're really long, but that's okay, because whatever the excess is I'll use for the tube wiring and what have you, you know. And I make them long so I know that I have enough. I'm not short somewhere. And I'll always end up using the wire anyway, so. Found 4 matching bolts for the cap can. And I don't want to take the cap can off, and plus it's just a filter cap board, just like normal filter cap boards. It's not much to see. Couple caps, couple resistors, that's about it. And let's see, what else can I show? I got my components board all done. And that'll sit in there, something like that, you know. It'll be on standoffs, of course, but it'll sit in there something like that. And alright, kind of curious to see. May as well do it while I got them out. Let's look at this mounting for the fat stack output transformer. We got the speaker side here. We got the input side here. And I believe Mojo Tone planned those 2 holes for the choke and these 4 right here for the output transformer. And yep, gonna have to drill new holes. It's too fat. Looks like it'll fit this way. Them holes just a little bit too shy. And that butts it right up next to the cap can. So here's the choke. It'll sit here. It'll mount up just fine. Get the wires out from under it. Sorry if my head gets in the way. So that'll mount like that. So I'll use these 2 holes that are already here. Looks like they'll be fine. I'll have to get me 2 new holes right here. Wires will run through that hole there. Yeah, that's a big output transformer. That ought to push some speakers. Let's see about this guy. Hopefully, can we crunch these up just a little bit? Kind of shove them in the hole temporarily. Is this guy gonna fit? Look at that. There you go, there's your power transformer. Falls right in. That's nice. This is gonna be a heavy bugger. Let's mock that up. There you go with that. Something like that. That's going to be a heavy little unit. These transformers are heavy. That's a good thing, actually. Fat stack. Well, so far I'm glad I ordered that. I hope I stay that way. I was noticing in the chassis there that the Mojo Tone didn't drill out for the little bias board there, so I'll have to drill a couple mounting holes, and it'll sit something like that on the other side of the chassis, of course. And let's see. I think that's all for the chassis. Now let's direct our attention to this speaker cabinet I got from Mojo Tone. I'll have to move the tripod here a little bit so I can show you. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. Might have to lower you down a little bit. You know, it's a pretty nice cabinet. Let me see. I'm going to have to rearrange here. I guess I'm going to have to take you off the tripod to have to hold the camera from here on out. So I had a couple of old Eminence 10-inch speakers that I just wanted to do for a test fit, and I got another one up there, and they fit in there okay, except for Mojo Tone kind of messed up on, I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of dark in there. They messed up on the mounting on this one. There's only 3 studs holding this speaker in. Let me get a light. Well, sorry for the abrupt ending. All of a sudden my camera batteries, seems like it's on the fritz lately. But otherwise the cabinet's nice and neat. I like the grill cloth, and everything's pretty good about it. Haven't found anything else yet. Probably will though. Anyway, if you watched the video, thanks for watching. Bye. Alright, I wanted to do another quick little segment on this amp. And this is the cabinet. So you can see I got a bunch of clamps on there with pieces of blanket. And what I'm having to do is re-glue the Tolex on the inside here. And here's a little chunk of it. Little chunks of it. It wasn't glued properly or very efficient on the inside there where the amp sits, or where the chassis sits. So when you put the chassis in the cabinet, it would hit the sides of the box here, the Tolex, and the Tolex would fold up. And it was just a real pain to get in the box. It just wasn't done. I guess I got a cabinet that was done on a Friday afternoon at 3 is kind of what it seems like. I got a Friday cabinet. You know, it's okay. I'll probably talk to customer service and let them know at least, and the stuff that I'm having to do and finding, and yeah, it was just bad. Luckily this one corner was okay, but the other three corners are not okay. You can see I got one clamp on for the vertical and one clamp for the horizontal on that corner. That corner was particularly bad in the front and the back. This one was just kind of bad in the back. Had to trim it over because the Tolex wasn't trimmed, you know, correctly, so it was overlapping each other, plus it wasn't glued. So when you tried to, like I said, when you tried to stick the chassis in there, it would just fold up and get in the way and be a major pain in the yay. And I did a little more work on the chassis. I know I got wires all over God's creation, but that's okay for now. I decided not to put in the transformers until I got it sitting in the cabinet correctly with the faceplate on, and got it sitting in there looking halfway decent. I don't know. This build's going a little bit more sticky than the last build. But anyway, if you watched, thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, I wanted to do another segment on this super reverb I'm building. Got all the transformers installed, got the board installed. I was just starting to put on the faceplate. Need to do my input jacks. I was just starting them, and I'm missing two 250K jacks here. Had to order some more. I thought I had more than I had, but apparently I was wrong on that. I should keep better inventory. So I had to order some more. And let's see, what else can I say? We had quite a bit of trouble with the cabinet. This is the cabinet here. Once we got the Tolex glued back down like it was supposed to be and trimmed up, we tried to set the chassis in there and it would not fit. Now this is Mojo Tone's cabinet and their chassis, and it would not fit in the cabinet. And what they had done is they had mounted this. I'm showing the corner that was off. They had mounted the baffle board in there cockeyed. The board was luckily cut straight, but they had mounted it in the cabinet a bit cockeyed, so it was an eighth of an inch higher from this distance here, this span, on this side, and this side was actually up just a bit too. So when you looked at the bottom down here where my black toe is, there was quite a gap down here in between the baffle board and the base board, and you could really see it. So what we had to do is we had to unmount the baffle board, and we used strap clamps to really we used one in this corner and one in this corner, and we really pressed it down. And the reason we use strap clamps is strap clamps is because I have some pipe clamps, but they're not long enough. I don't have the great big tall ones. I have like a medium size one, and it just wasn't quite tall enough to get clamped in here and on the bottom. So we just used straps and strapped it, ratcheted it down real tight. I mean, we really squoze it down tight and re-ran the screws in the back here. And that helped a lot. Then at least we could get the chassis into the space here. And the front of the chassis, the controls. Even when it didn't have the faceplate on the chassis, you couldn't get it into the space here. It would stop, maybe 3/4 of an inch back, and it would get really tight, tight enough to where you thought you was gonna tear up the grill cloth. Pardon me. The smoke is really getting to me. The smoke is really bad where I live. But anyway, I think we got that solved. And I also enlarged my mounting holes here just a little bit. That's why you see the crap down in the bottom of the cabinet. A little bit of sawdust. Just to give me a little bit of wiggle. Just a little bit of wiggle room. And that helps a bunch. Didn't replace the stud because I don't want to take the grill cloth off. So that stud is just gone. So this speaker will get just 3 studs, and then I'll probably use a grabber in the other spot. And a grabber should work fine, as long as it's not too tight or too loose. You got to get it just right. But when we remounted the baffle board there, you can't see the screws in there, I doubt, but they're on each edge board there in the front. You could tell it was going into new wood, the screw holes. And they just use grabbers with a little bit of what do you call those, a little ferrule type thing. The rest of the speaker slots seem to be okay. This is just the one on the right hand corner here in the bottom that they got a stud mount really wrong. So had a few issues with the cabinet, but nothing you can't fix, and as long as you work with it, you know. I thought I was going to have to take the baffle board out, take the grill cloth off and get it on the table saw and square it up, but luckily I didn't have to do that. Anyway, so moving along on this chassis is going to be a heavy chassis with these Mercury transformers. It's a heavy chassis, and I have to see how she sounds. I like to, once I get them together and have them working properly, I like to play them a little while, and then I may go back and make some changes. And that's kind of what I'm doing with the deluxe reverb right there. Is I'm still playing it a little bit, and I may go back in there and make some tweaks. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this little segment. I just didn't want to get too far along and not have a little video, kind of an update. Alright, well, if you watched, thanks for watching. Bye.